Hey, welcome back to Two A's and One C's. We have Ryan, Kaz, and myself, Vin here today. So we'll be going on through another round of topic of discussion, and maybe I'll just start off by sharing my screen. I thought this was kind of interesting. So I just came across this comic strip. It says, we need to improve our product, and then everyone goes AI, AI, and then the third guy says, understand our customer needs, and he gets kicked off. You know. And this got me thinking, like, we're in a world of where AI is a huge thing now. Everyone's using AI, either for their work, for their personal life. Some use them as a companion. You know, Maybe let's have a round of discussion on what do you guys think about AI, and maybe let's talk about, how AI is being used in our life and in our careers. Yep. Anyone want to kickstart this topic of conversation?
Yeah, I can start. Okay.
Yep.
So, I think previously, back
Ah,
uh, in my previous job, AI is something that is being pushed by our CEOs, our managers. So it's become like a hot word, a hot topic, hot word, or whatever you call that. So it's something that your managers will ask, their subordinates, everyone's to implement AI, but it stops there. They don't provide you, uh, you know, they don't provide you the necessary tools or maybe some training or you know, it's just implement AI and somehow it makes them it makes them look smart.
mhm, mhm.
So and then I think the thing is everyone scrambles on how to implement AI into their workflow. So maybe if you're in the IT department, maybe you are more familiar and it's easier to implement AI there. But there are other departments, such as I was in the engineering department, so we don't see how. I mean, maybe we are lacking in some knowledge of AI. So I guess the managers should address this. So the thing is, how would I say, the upper the your managers, your CEOs are just trying to it's something like Microsoft. They're saying
I
that
just try to follow the trend, like.
yeah, follow the trend. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I think that's the
Mm,
keyword there. So they're just trying to follow the trend. Everyone
mm,
implement AI. AI can help
mm,
us reduce the workload.
mm,
So maybe their objective is to reduce the workforce, the human workforce. But yeah,
mm.
currently it's just like it's just a trend. So we don't see how actually AI is able to help in our workflow. So I
So
think
Ryan, I
that
mean,
that's my
Mm,
experience lah in my job, in my previous year job.
mm,
so
mm,
that's a great point, right, Ryan? So most oftentimes I see management, they want to just hop on that AI wagon and they want to just ride it through like everyone else, right? But like you said,
mm,
none of them actually understands the power of AI and how the power of AI can assist in individual industries, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in different industries, it's going to be played out very differently. Like in your engineering field, it's also going to be played out very differently. The data used are different. The information that you require or that you want to see or you want to be presenting are going to be very much different than information from the construction industry.
Yep.
Although the gist of it is the same, but like I said, management is so funny. They just want to just jump on it and then they just want to like, okay, come guys, let's all sit on this wagon and then it's like let's ride AI and no one knows where they're going. No one knows what kind of information they want or they need in order to achieve their goal because they have no idea, where they're heading to with this AI thing. And I find this very funny.
And
Like,
and you're right, because even, I mean, if your manager themselves, they don't know what is what's the capability of AI, and how are we under them supposed to, you know we don't,
exactly,
even our managers don't have a direction to go towards for AI implementation. How are we
correct.
under them supposed to implement? So And there's so many types of AI out there. You have your chat
Exactly.
GPT, you have your image generation AIs, you have your video
Correct.
generation. So like what tools are we supposed to use? Are we supposed to use chat GPT? Are we supposed to use Gemini,
Yep.
and yeah.
And we all know that all these are out there, but we don't know what tools or what platform do we use to actually achieve our objectives, because we don't even know, they don't even know what their objectives are. And that is so funny. Like, what do you need? If like you said right earlier, if they said that, okay, I want to reduce work effort, workload, they want to make sure that reporting are being streamlined, right? Like they don't need multiple layers of review, updates and assessment or whatever stuff. They want to really reduce that reporting workload. Maybe it's time consuming, right? Then yes, okay, it is a clear goal there. Like, okay, we've got all this information to chug out a report by the end of the month, to report to our management. Let's try, we spend about like 2 weeks on this, report, like maybe 3 or 5 people. Let's try to reduce this workload. Then let's try to use, some kind of platform to actually collate information and maybe help you with forecasts and stuff like that. That would make more sense. But when it just clearly said, like just now in the meeting, okay, yep, AI, let's do AI. Like, do what with AI? I mean, you want to be clear, like, yeah, I'm gonna try to reduce workload. Yeah, that's clear. So,
And
um,
Right. So before I continue, I think I will set what we should talk next, right? Okay, see. I think both of Ryan and Vin, I think your perspective is coming from maybe a subordinate perspective, right?
yep.
So maybe let's do this, right? So I think I will still give my opinion from a subordinate perspective. Then later on, I think we should switch our role. Now, let's say we are manager, that we have a senior manager or director to report to, and we have a few subordinates.
Mhm.
How would we, as a manager, convey the message top down? Maybe that will give you a better idea, right? Because we can see things from both sides, right? Shall we?
Yep. So, from
Yeah.
top down, when I work with my juniors and stuff, reporting has always been one of the biggest issue that we face, because a lot of time spent on it, right? And
Mm,
I'm not really working with AI, but I am working with Power Query and Power BI right now. When I say I'm working with it,
mm,
not I'm in a training process, trying to build
mm,
my Power Query and Power BI. I don't know
mm,
how much this is an AI related thing, but this is
mm,
supposed to help with, I would say, speeding up the reporting process, right? And
mm,
when I started on this journey, right, like this training journey and stuff like that, what I realized is that, going back to what Ryan has said earlier, like there is no um, clear map on the goal here. Sorry, maybe let me rephrase. It's quite clear that I want to reduce reporting hours spent on reporting, but how do I present that information? Like what components would I need to build into this Power BI or Power Query in order for me to achieve that visual presentation? And after having a chat with a lot of people that works on queries and BIs, they finally shared with me that, hey, these are some of the templates that you can use, or these are some of the ways you can present information. These are some of the ways that you can collate information. And then, I was able to like get at least an understanding of how I'm going to present my information. When I spoke to my manager about it, so now going like, bottom top, right? When I spoke to my manager about this, right? He has no clue on what's happening, right? He has asked me this, like, so the report is going to be the same. I said yes, it is going to be the same. Then what's wrong using the same report? I said because it's taking more time. And then he asked me back, like, how long would you need to spend to build this? I said probably it's going to be another 2 or 3 weeks, because it's going to be trial and error and stuff like that. And then with trial and errors, it's going to be an added on, 2 or 3 weeks before we get it right. So instead of spending like a month and a half on this, why don't we just keep using the tool that we have right now, the Excel copy that we have right now? And I said, yeah, but the idea is for everyone to implement this template, right? So that it's going
mm,
to speed up
mm,
the process for everyone, right? But not at the
mm,
expense of me paying you to learn this thing for 1.5 months with trial and error before we can finally use it. I
mm,
said, that's not right.
mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So management doesn't understand that things would be expected to go through a trial and error phase, right? And
mm.
yeah, that's my thoughts on this.
Yeah, because I think most of the manager is maybe result driven because they need to, you know, immediately show the result. Maybe they have something to present back to their top management, right?
Exactly.
Because the manager also have someone to report to. So I
Mhm.
guess because of the urgency, and he can't just say, "Oh, my subordinate need 1 month to, get trained."
Correct, correct.
Yeah, you're
No,
right. I
I'm
mean,
I'm
you
I'm
should ask
quietly
for
working
budget,
on the
right?
background. So no, actually, to truth be told, I'm just working on the background. So after sharing this information with him, right, and after he's questioned me all these ways, right, there's no point in me bringing it back to him and asking him to allocate me some time for me to work on this. So I just told myself, I said, no, okay, I'm just going to work on this on the background, and if it works out well, that's great, right? If it doesn't work out well,
Mm,
I'm just going to try to tweak it and see where I get with this.
mm.
I I think
So
in
talk about Power BI. Oh, sorry, Ryan, you go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So I was just saying that I think some managers might confuse automation and AI.
Yep.
So
Yep.
using in your case, Power BI is more of automation.
Automation.
So for example,
Mm, mm,
I think like in my company, we used to manually pull the data from a database, then you
Mm,
put into
mm,
Excel, then you put it into pretty graphs, and then you report it. You present it as a report. So Power BI automates all the whole thing. It will
mm,
pull the data
mm,
for you. You can set it like, or maybe
mm.
pull it every morning or something like that. You pull it,
mm,
and it will
Yep.
be populated into tables and graphs, all ready
mm.
for you
Yep.
to
Present.
present even before you come into work. So
Yep.
I think sometimes managers are confusing between automation and AI.
Mhm.
Mm.
Maybe
Okay,
yeah, I
Yep.
was
That's
confused
right.
between automation and
yeah,
AI.
back to you,
Mm,
Cass.
mm. Mm. So I think I want to mention that, but it's okay. Ryan actually mentioned about the confusion, right? Between automation versus AI. So for me, I think AI can be also part of having an automation capabilities. That is for sure. That actually save our time and get rid of all the mundane work, all the tedious tasks, right? That
Mm,
we humans should spend more time on more quality work. And then I think the extra attributes that AI should have is predictive capabilities, right? Predictions, decision making, right? It's like technically a human, right? So sometimes we can make decisions based on the things that we have, right? I think that is what automation doesn't have, because automation is pretty much, you know, you get an input and then you just process it and give you an output. It is a very robotic task, right? So there's no intelligence involved, right? Which I think AI should have this uh intelligence capability, hence the word artificial intelligence, right? So that's
mhm.
what I think. So back to for example, Power BI is very convenient. I think besides automation capabilities, it also have a collaborative capabilities, right? Where I think
Yes.
as long as everyone got the link, they can actually
Yes.
click the refresh button and then they will able to see the dashboard like in a very nice manner compared to Excel. I think Excel can also do it, but I think
Not as
Power
beautiful as
BI
Power
is
BI.
easy. Power BI is a drag and drop. It's much more, I would say, UI friendly, right? You
Driven.
can just do drag and drop. Excel, you still can create a chart, but it's not as like, straightforward as Power BI. Right? Power BI, I think, is straightforward as what you call it, the dashboard tools, right?
Yep.
So I think back in my previous industry, same thing. Let's say we used to use Excel to do this. So the manager will say, "Oh, why don't we consider AI and try to replace that our Excel methodologies, right? Like for example, we have all these macros automation involved. We have all these formula. We have all these pivot table, right? Whoever use Excel, you know what I'm talking about, right? So again, if you were to use AI, if the work is just to automate, is actually is just a redundant tool. and probably you need to pay extra for that, right? So I think management always confuse, right, the differences between AI and automation. I mean, I think their sole objective is so that we can reduce our workload, so that we can spend more quality time on maybe, on researchers and other more productive work. I think that's where they are coming from, right? So I think as a subordinate, I will need to convey this message, of course, in a friendly manner, not to just tell straight into his or her face saying that you don't know what is AI. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think I will take a step back. I think what they actually want from us,
Hmm.
and then maybe I will convey in a better way to deliver, my opinion to them. So that's what I think as a subordinate should do, rather than uh, draw a wall between you and the manager because you think that your manager don't really even know what is he or she talking about, right? So yeah, something can be a bit frustrating. If no matter how many times you voice out opinion, but looks like your opinion has not been listened to, right? So it can be a bit frustrating, but I think that's what I would do lah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you were going to share about your.
Yeah, I think because just now I think all of us have already shared, right, from a subordinate point of view, like what will we do, right? Because I think it will be more interesting. So let's say now we play a role as a manager, and you have someone else to report to, and you also have a few subordinates below you reporting to you, right? So um yeah, shall we come to this?
Yeah, sure.
Mm. um Win, you want to start?
Oh, I was going to pass the ball to Ryan.
Oh.
Cash should be the one
Okay.
who starts since he's the one who brought up.
Okay. Yeah. So I think as a manager, I think sometimes we got the mandate from our higher up. So basically we just push AI top down because most likely my superior also use this thing, also behave like this, right? Oh, we should implement AI. Cass, please implement AI in your team, so that your team is more productive. So of course, if I don't have any previous knowledge, like technically, right? I don't know technically what AI is can be done to help my team. Of course, I will send the mandate top down to my team, right? I mean, that is normally what manager will do, right? So basically, what they do is they just push the term AI top down. I mean, that is basically what's happening right now. So as a manager, I think what I should do is I probably need to set the problem definition right. Right. I think the problem statement need to be there. At least some objective need to be there so that at least there's a direction. So obviously me as a manager, I don't think I will be technically sound compared to my subordinates because they are the hands and legs, right? So they make the hand dirty. Of course, they know more than me in terms of technical. But I think what I need to do is I need to set the direction right. Okay, set the direction right. At least don't get confused between what automation is and what AI is, right? At least get the definition right, and basically you need to know what's the strength of AI. Okay. The next thing I think as a manager should do is we need to recognize the reality, right? So if we want the team to implement it fast, we need budget. We need budget. We need to send them for training. Not even that. I think we also need to allocate budget maybe to buy a tools, right? To buy a tools because AI just don't pop out of nowhere, right? It just suddenly tomorrow everyone is AI driven and then they become more efficient. I don't think that's how it's gonna work. Training is definitely needed, and maybe we also need to buy the tools, right? For example, maybe a premium version of
Yeah, you need to get the license.
ChatGPT Pro. Yeah, I need to get a license. So budget is needed. So what I should do is I definitely need to explore, right? Explore the maybe I need to read through the good reviews of certain AI companies, their product, maybe go through tendering and basically um get like get to see like maybe three products and get to see which one is the best, right? Based on the reviews from whoever you have used it before, right? And then of course need to fight for the budget so that I can go through the procurement and get the tools. So then only it makes sense for my team to use it because I think what is important is the support for my subordinates, right? So I think two things. First thing, get the definition right. and second thing, provide the, the sufficient support, be it in terms of training and also in terms of budget. So that is what I'm gonna do if I were to be a manager.
I think for me, um, I'm looking at the not having a budget to begin with, because if sometimes I think the company would want to know if it can be done without any cost, so that they are
Mm,
able to save themselves from all this budget discussions and all that. Can you do it without it? And then show me that it can be done, and then moving forward, if you were to get a premium version of it, how much faster, how much more efficient could things become, right? So I think my approach would be slightly different, where I would probably work with a small team of people of interest, people that says, okay, yep, I've got an interest to work with AI, and then a few of us like-minded individual comes together, and then sort of brainstorm to begin with, right? Like how at which point in our um, work we could use AI, right? How where we could use AI, how could AI assist us, and what kind of goals can we achieve from there, right? And then get that understanding first, and one of two ways, either to run a pilot program, or the other way is to actually speak with someone more senior in the role in the company. It could be a manager, it could be a director, but someone would not only guide you, but also would sort of give you concrete advice, right? Not someone that has no idea what they're talking about, and get them involved on a monthly basis, so that that whatever that you're working on as a small team of like-minded individuals, right, uh, is achieving the company's interests of pursuing this journey in AI. And I think I will start from there with this team, and then work my way, build a pilot program, it works, and then finally present it to the organization, and then include premium licensing and all that stuff. That would be my approach, because most often time, oh
mm,
sorry, yeah, Ryan, you were going to say, but sorry, yeah, if you don't mind me cutting. Most often time what I realize is that there will be someone that has an interest to pursue AI. The company would want to pursue AI as well, but at the same time there's not enough people on the ground to build this. All right. So no matter how much a company stresses the importance of AI, if there's no one on the ground building this, pilot program, for example, I think it's not worth having a conversation about. Yeah. Yeah. Back to you. All right.
Yeah. So okay, let me give you an example. Okay, so I think like just now Cass mentioned that it's a top-down direction from your CEO, and then the CEOs, then your manager is. So my personal opinion is it something that every employee should be exploring, or should we get like maybe the IT department to explore?
Mm.
So I think
mm,
one thing managers usually miss out is what is the pain points, and what are the tasks that can be uh, completed by AI. So first thing
mm,
first, managers, you need to understand these things. You need to get your inputs from you know your people, and then the thing is, if it's something that needs to be coded, okay, so in my example, so I am not involved in any coding and stuff, but like, for example, like, but like Power BI is not really coding, so those kind of stuff we do learn, and we do we automate those kind of reporting. But if you want us to use AI, if it's not something like that is consumer ready, like ChatGPT is, ChatGPT is easy, is easy to use. You just go in, you open ChatGPT, then you type whatever questions or whatever that you want. So some of the more complex tasks that you want AI to perform, it involves a lot of coding, and we are not,
Mm.
you know, coders
Great.
by trade. Yeah.
Right. Mm.
So
Right. Right.
so what I think is, it's not something that managers or every manager should be asking their people to look into. I think it should be a more of a collaboration between maybe the IT department and whatever department you're in. So you point out, like, what are the tasks that you think you want it to be completed by
Yeah,
AI.
expensive
Yeah,
maybe.
you list down all those, and then you have a chat with the IT department and see what they can do. So
Yeah.
that's my opinion. So it should be not something that but of course this is relating to more complex tasks. So if it's something easier,
Mm.
then something that
Mm.
you can do with ChatGPT, then why not you can use ChatGPT. But
Mm.
so
Yep.
this one is more complex tasks that you may requires more coding and stuff. So I think it should be a collaboration between across departments, and not just something that everyone have to look into. And so that's
I mean,
my
Mm.
that's my take on that.
going back into it
Mm.
right a bit, what I realize most oftentimes is that the interest uh, in a large corporation, the interest to actually perform your role and also exceed your role is like uh, North Pole and South Pole kind of thing. Um, Sometimes, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but sometimes when I come into the office and then when I speak to my colleagues and stuff like that, what I realize is that most oftentimes some of them would come in just to perform their task. Like, you expect me to perform a certain task and you're paying me for it, and I'm here just to work on those tasks, right? And then there's another group where they're constantly looking to I would say to improve themselves, or to support the company the best way possible and stuff like this. And then that's where they come up with all these ideas to bring the company to the next level, right? And these are the people that I see that has an interest in this, but they have no way of channeling this interest of theirs, because uh, there's things like budget restriction. There are things like managers that aren't supportive, or aren't leading them to the right directions. There are peer pressures from their colleagues, like why are you doing extra work, right? Why are you
Mm.
doing work that's out of your JD, for
Oh, your
example,
scope.
out of your
Mm.
scope? Yeah, because they're going to
Mm.
be, I mean those that are not supporting in this new initiative feels like they are being expected to do these additional roles as well that is not in their JD. So uh, I see that there's a lot of this tension that happens, and that anyone that has a keen interest to perform these tasks sort of just at some point just takes a step back and says, like, you guys do you, like, if the management requires me to do certain things, I'm just going to help out with those things, and then I'll just leave it back to the management to handle it, to deal with it. So I think that is also another thing that management is supposed to look into, like this is if this is something that we would encourage our uh, team to work on. um, don't push them in a direction that they don't want to go, but at the same time, don't put too much expectations without proper consideration. And so uh, I would say what's that, uh, I want to use the word compassion, compensation, actually. Yeah, that's my real take on this journey to achieving AI in MNC companies.
Mm. I think I would just go back to why I you know want you like Win and Ryan to think in the manager perspective is is to understand, right, why maybe your manager behave such. I mean, if we able to see things from both lenses, I think we are able to predict, right, what the other party is trying to think, and then we can also try to stand in their shoe and see, right? Is this what I want to listen? You know what I mean? So I think like as a manager, I think the last thing we want to hear from our subordinate is a no, right?
Yep.
Like no, we don't need AI. Excel is good enough. Those kind of words. Because so what would that means, right? It means that let's say now you as a subordinate, right? If you were to say no, even though maybe reality says so, right? Excel is good enough, pivot table, whatever. I don't need AI. Maybe realistically, technically, that is true. But when you say this kind of word, I think it may reflect to your manager that you are basically uh, do not intend to change or not innovative, right? Maybe don't dare to explore new things. Those kind of impression may be given to the manager, right? That's why I think it's very important, like for us to see things from both lenses, because you can also think about what you want to listen to and what you don't want to listen to. So then you know what you need to speak to your manager, right? So that's where am I coming from. So I think because I think Win, you probably have a manager to report to. Maybe Ryan in the future you have a manager to report to. So I think it's very important for both of you. So that's why I come up with this role play lah.
In my
So I mean,
opinion,
oh yeah,
it's
go ahead.
better to tell your manager the truth rather than saying, "Oh, yes, yes, we can implement AI," and then giving them something, maybe something like Power BI, and then claiming that is AI. I think it's better to tell the truth.
So
I
I mean,
think telling the truth is definitely better, right? Rather than do not explore at all, right? So I think because eventually your manager need to report to the top. So if you have a better clarification on, let's say, the definition of AI, he can actually learn from you, and he can maybe pass you know bottom up, right? But if the statement is just directly no, I think that's not gonna end well, right? And probably the year end appraiser is not gonna look good also, right? So
this
yeah, it takes a bit of tactic as well sometimes to convey the message, right? Because people don't want to read what they don't want to listen to, right? So
Either
so
that.
this might sound a little
Oh,
bit
sorry.
controversial, right? No, no, it's okay. This might
mm,
sound a little bit controversial, right? Every
mm,
time there's something new that comes up on the market, right? It is
mm,
just an opportunity, right, for anyone
mm,
in the organization, especially uh, bigger organization, MNC corporations and stuff. It's an opportunity for them, right, to shine.
mm,
Whether it works or not, that's a secondary story. It is
yep,
used as a platform, right, for people that are not seen in the organization, right, to shine. And this might sound very
mm,
controversial. Please comment your thoughts down below. If you think so, or if you disagree with me, please share on your thoughts as well. More than welcome to explore those thoughts with you guys. But this is my personal opinion, right? Like, is it coming from a place of genuinity? Like, hey, I am very concerned uh, for my team, and me assuming that I'm a manager, right? I'm putting myself in my manager's position, right? The first thing that I see, like for example, I see that TikTok right now is booming like crazy, like everyone's on TikTok, everyone's promoting stuff on TikTok, and we should jump on that TikTok wagon, right? Like, I'm expecting my underlings to do the same thing. Why am I actually getting my underlings to do the same thing? To jump on that TikTok and start promoting businesses and all that through that and our services and all that because I want to shine. All right.
yep,
I there is I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there is no way, right, shape or form am I actually concerned. Oh, my team needs to spend quality time on work. They
mm,
need to spend their 8 hours or their 9 hours at places where it really matters. It adds
mm,
value to them and it adds value to the company,
mm,
and they go back satisfied. There's no way. you know
mm,
I beg to differ that there is someone that's going to come and tell me, no, my boss genuinely wants us to use AI because, it's going to help us. No,
mm,
as a manager, that's what I would do. I want to shine. I want my next promotion. I'm working towards my next
yeah,
promotion. As a manager, I'm going to be a senior
yeah,
manager or a director at some point.
mm,
I want to look amazing to my board of directors, for example. Okay, this guy, wow, the
mm,
board is going to say, this guy, wow, he's amazing. Like, he's
mm,
on AI, he's on TikTok, he's now doing a
mm,
podcast. It's like, wow, he's everywhere, right? Like, I've got to
mm,
get this guy to come up to a director level. Like, that's the idea, right? So that people
mm.
sees me, Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
So
mean, you
Ryan,
guys all
so
contribute.
if your future manager is those kind persistent one who always ask this kind of question, so you tell me, you implement AI or not? If your manager is like this, you just say lah, Power BI is AI, and then just let him,
no,
uh,
okay. So
should I just bottom up lah.
just now what Vin mentioned actually reminded me of one of a tweet that I read related to this. Just give me a while. Let me find the tweet. So it's about
Mm,
a manage. I think it's just a made up a tweet. So it's not real. But however, it actually
mm,
it's related to the situation where Vin was talking about. So hold on. Let me see whether I can bring it up onto.
Oh, wow, this is a long tweet.
Okay, so let's try and go through the tweet.
So, okay, last quarter, I rolled out Microsoft Copilot to 4,000 employees, $30 per seat per month, 1.4 million annually. I called it digital transformation. The board loved that phrase. They approved it in 11 minutes. No one asked what it was. Sorry, no one asked what it would actually do, including me. I told everyone it would 10 times productivity. That's not a real number, but it sounds like one. HR asked how we'd measure the 10 times. I said we'd leverage analytical dashboard. Obviously, you're gonna ask more of this, right? Why didn't they? They stopped asking.
so
What?
long, my God.
3 months later, I checked the usage report. 47 people had opened it. 12 had used it more than once. One of them was
Mm,
me. I used it to summarize an email I would have read in 30 seconds. It took me 45 seconds. Plus the time it took to fix the hallucination. Oh yeah, hallucination is something that I want to talk about. But okay,
mm,
but I called it pilot success. Success means the pilot didn't visibly fail. The CFO asked about ROI. Obviously, I showed him a graph went up to the right. It's AI enablement. I made that metric up. He nodded
mm,
approvingly. We are AI enabled now. I don't know what that means, but it's in our investor deck. The senior developer
mm,
asked why we didn't use cloud or ChatGPT. I said we needed enterprise grade security. Wait, hold on. Okay. So he asked what that meant. I said compliance. I mean, it does make sense, right? Like, I mean, his
mm,
statements were legit true, but to what extent and what the details of it is obviously ambiguous, right?
Yeah.
He asked which are compliance. I said all of them. He looked skeptical. Obviously, but like, how would you know all the compliance that
So
like
see,
it's
this is
gonna
a
be like
smart
so
employee.
mm,
yeah.
mm.
He looked skeptical. I scheduled him for a career development conversation. He
Enjoying
still asked.
conversation is how
Microsoft
you
said,
shut, the other party's mouth out.
yeah. They wanted to feature us as a success story. I told them we saved 40,000 hours. I calculate the number by multiplying. Yeah, obviously 10. Yeah, 4,000 times 10, right? Like
Mm,
per day.
yeah,
Improvement.
yeah.
They didn't verify it. They never do. Now we are on Microsoft website. Global Enterprise achieves
Mm,
40,000 hours of programming gains with Copilot. Theo shared it on LinkedIn. He got 3,000 likes. He's never used Copilot. None of the executives have. We have an exemption.
mm,
Strategic focus requires minimal digital distraction. That's a good motto, though. I wrote that
mm.
policy. The license renew next month. I'm requesting an expansion, 5,000 more seats. We haven't used the first
Mhm.
4,000.
The
Obviously, they
first
only use what?
4,000.
They're like 20 or 30 numbers only, right?
Yeah.
But this time
Mm,
we'll drive adoption. Adoption means mandatory training. Stupid. Training means a 45-minute webinar no one watches. Hey, you said you saved like what? Like 40,000 and then you're expecting people to spend like
mm,
45 minutes on a webinar no one
mm.
watches. Like, okay, shit. But completion
Yeah.
will be tracked. Completion is a matrix. Matrix go into the dashboard. Dashboard go into the presentation. Bro, oh, shit.
Promoted.
Got me promoted.
I'll
No,
be
no,
as
no, not a joke, not a joke. Someone got promoted because she used Power BI. Not a
no,
joke.
I have
I'm I'm not
this.
telling you it's not a joke. It happened in reality. like in basically my company. So
So I've got a similar
because I
statement
think
like
Power
this.
BI dashboard is just so nice. It's really nice. I think management just like it. So whoever first brought it up, you get the fruits.
Correct, correct. I agree. Yeah, I'll share with you a similar like a statement that I found as well. Anyways, so he'll be an SVP by Q3. I still don't know what Copilot does, but I know what it's
Mm,
for. It's for showing we are investing in AI. Investment means spending.
mm,
Spending means commitment. Commitment means we are serious about the future. The future is whatever I say it.
mm,
As long as the graph goes
mm.
up to the right. I agree. I
And to
agree.
the
so
right,
so
yeah.
to
Uh,
me, so this is what it sounds like, when manager says, "Oh, we need to implement AI."
Yeah, like most
mm,
of the time they don't even know what they're talking about. So I mean, I do appreciate
mm,
Kaz, questions on like, where is the manager coming from and all that, right? But it's total
mm,
BS. Like seriously, it's total BS. They don't even know what it does, right? You need to
mm,
to know something in order to ask the questions. And it's like blind leading the blind. So basically,
mm,
managers are blind. They're expecting us, employees to be able to see something and direct them in the right direction. But hey, no, wait, like we are not sure what's happening as well. All right, there's a reason why we are not in your position, right? Because we are lacking the experience, and all of a sudden you want us to be an expert in AI and direct you. I think there's something wrong somewhere. So yeah.
So
um
I think yeah. So in that case, I think we need to know what is the problem here, right? So you need to know what problem we need to solve. So the problem statement is really important because
yep.
most of the time I think okay, besides the AI boom term, right? I think what they want is just so that you can get things done on time, so that um you don't make a poor time management as an excuse, right, for not deliver the deliverables, right? I think just need to know where are they coming from so
Mhm.
that you are able to answer it in a better way. You can like furnish your answer in a better way, right? As I mentioned to you, right, if you were just to tell your management that you don't know AI, you are dumb. Okay, you just want to ride on the AI wagon. I mean, this thing is just gonna reflect poorly in your year end perusal. Seriously, right? Because this
I
is
mean,
not
I mean,
how we should convey our message, right? So even though
what
there's
I would do
even though there's
I would do,
okay.
I would just immediately, right, like, okay, this is the poor manager. He doesn't know what the shit he's talking about. Like, I've
Mm,
got to quit. I've got to quit because I'm the kind of person, right? I want to work
mm,
with someone that knows what he's doing. You know, he
mm,
knows
mm,
his stuff, and then I'm working for him because I'm relying on him to educate me, right? Not the other way around, right?
mm,
So like,
mm,
okay, this is a quote that I found online, right? It says here, workplace AI equals to efficiency for bosses, chaos for everyone else. And it's exactly true.
mm,
You know, the bosses are,
mm,
are very focused on like, okay, efficiency, 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 right? Like, and
mm,
it's chaos for everyone because we don't know what we are doing, but we are expected to do something and show for it. Like, how do you even do that?
mm,
Yeah. So I do agree
mm,
with you that it comes to the point where, it's going to reflect very poorly on your performance review and stuff like that. And obviously someone else
mm,
is going to be way more sillier than me, and present like probably going to say, Power BI is AI, and he's going to get a promotion, obviously, like the SVP in
mm,
the quarter three, like it's bound to
mm,
happen. All right. But at some point, right, it's going to go way up there that it's going to just crash the whole understanding of AI, and then everyone's going to finger point. And by that time, probably
mm.
this SVP guy, right, has left the company.
Yeah,
Like
he'll
he
be
he's gotten a VP. No, sorry, he's gotten a presidency somewhere
he'll
in
probably
another
get
company.
headhunted, by another company for implementing
Exactly,
Yeah,
AI.
yeah,
exactly, because he's
yeah,
gonna be like, I
yeah.
pioneered in AI, and
Mm,
I'm the so-called author of Copilot. It's like, okay, probably Amazon's gonna hire him and say like, can you build an
mm,
in-house AI for us? And he's gonna pull his way
mm,
all the way through.
mm.
So yeah.
So when people ask you what you know about Copilot, oh, I pilot my organization together. That's what Copilot means. Oh.
And if anyone digs any more, and then he's gonna be like,
Mm.
okay, I think you need career development proficiency. Should I sign you up for a class? And everyone's gonna shut up,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it.
Mm. Mm.
Okay, so we have been
Yeah, I think
focusing
we have
on
already talked. Yeah. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, yeah. So I was saying, we were focusing on the bad, of AI and why is it just a hype word, in your offices.
Mm.
So maybe let's talk about, what is your experience with AI? So do you have you used AI, maybe like ChatGPT, and what what are your experiences, and maybe how did it help? Maybe did it manage to help you in, whatever task that you wanted to do? Maybe you can share, Cass.
Um, there's a very interesting questions. So, because I'm a pocket YouTuber currently, so obviously I need a lot of design ideas, right? I need some ideas on what kind of fonts, what color should I put for my thumbnails. So definitely ChatGPT is my first to go tools, right? Because I can basically just query ChatGPT. What will be the most uh eye-catchy thumbnail um text that I should put, as the thumbnail of my next videos, right? So ChatGPT will, of course I need to provide certain inputs of, the figure I need to put in, some of the character I need to put in. So I think ChatGPT will base it on the color and the element of the object that I input, and then come up with some recommendations. And even you can ask ChatGPT, right, to give like a few lists of images you want. But typically they give you two, lah, right? Typically they give you two. The tool I use in ChatGPT is Sora. Those who use image generation, you should know what is Sora from ChatGPT. So yeah, this is one of the most common tool I use. Because I think thumbnail for any YouTuber is very important, right? That is where you need to spend 50% of your effort, because that is basically your first impressions, right, to your future audience. Okay. Why I say future? Because your current audience most likely, already click on your videos, or maybe is already a subscriber, so they will already got the notification. But for those who have not get in touch with your any content at all, they will need to be interested in your thumbnail and then click on your videos. So that's where thumbnail is very important, and hence I said, I spend 50% of my effort on just the thumbnail, right? Um, so yeah, so ChatGPT uh is definitely my to go tools, and for image generation, I like to use Sora. So yeah.
So you're mostly using it for your video making in your YouTube. So what about you, Vin?
Oh, I use it for the most mundane stuff. Like, yeah, I think I'm one of the reasons why the electricity bills at all those data centers are being drained out. So I'm the kind of person that says, "Good morning, ChatGPT, and thank you. You have been helpful," and stuff like that. And I'm wasting electricity just like that. Anyways, so what I do with, I mean, I'm usually on a few AI, I would say, what do you call this, engines? Would you consider AI engines, these chat GPTs and stuff like that? Are they considered engines?
Mm,
Yeah.
yep.
Anyways, I use them like in various situations. The most easiest, or the most, sorry, the most regular usage would be on emails. So I am very poor at sequencing my thoughts, and I get AI to actually help me out with those. So I throw in my thoughts and then try to get them to lay it out in a way that is more readable. I get them to generate like more easier format for readers to digest the information. On top of that, I try to use AI in my day to day. I would say as in a way as an expert, but as an advisor as well. So in both situations, like as an expert, for example, when I need to understand about a topic, all right, try to dumb it down so that it's very digestible, and try to get them to advise me in the advisory capacity would be to sort of highlight the gaps in certain knowledge that I have, and sort of advise me on where I can go or how can I go about filling up those gaps in my knowledge. So currently, I'm preparing for a panel discussion, and although I have been in the industry for quite a while, but I'm always wondering whether I'm good enough. So I'm using AI as an advisor to sort of highlight the gaps that I have in my understandings and try to provide me a plan, try to provide me the right set of source or resources to actually fill up these gaps. Yep. So that's me using AI.
So okay, so my turn to share. So um, I guess mine is more related to image processing. So it's not the usual like ChatGPT that we use. Okay, so my example okay, so in my line of work, we do semiconductor production. So occasionally we will see a certain defect on our products, and it's not something consistent or something frequent. It's just it happens like once in a blue moon. So uh usually what we would do, you will get someone, like a junior engineer, to go look at the images of the products, and then try to see whether they can find the defect. So
Mm,
of course that
okay.
that is going to take a lot of effort to go through the images. It's going to take a lot of time. It's
Mm,
just a wasted, not productive work.
yeah.
So
I mean, it's very mundane, and then the guy is not going to have much experience just by just looking at
yeah, and then you probably miss it because the defect is quite minor.
very minor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
might miss it, and then so
Because you guys are working in semiconductors, right?
yeah.
Like, yeah.
So actually, and then you know we don't have any budgets allocated, so we actually can't use any commercial
Mm,
commercial software for this. So we had to use some open source software that we found,
mhm,
and then it was approved by IT to be used.
mhm,
So we have to use it, and then we managed to get a team of coders from our automation IT department. So they help
mhm.
us code a little piece of software that actually does the image processing for us. So we will show the software, like some of the
Defects and stuff.
some of the defects, image of the defects that we had previously, and then it will scan through everything for us. It will do it every day, you know. So
Mm,
that is what I find that is actually useful of AI. And
mm.
yeah, so that is one
Anyway.
case that I would say that is AI is really effective if used properly and on the right hands.
Detection, right? I
Yeah.
think you use AI for the detection role, right?
Yep.
Because you
How
can
big is
save a lot of human man hours. Mm.
how big is this AI program?
It's a open source software, so it's called OpenVino.
Mhm.
It's I think because it's open source, so it's contributed by by the public. Everyone can use it for free as long
Mm,
as you. I mean, there are some rules that you have to follow for the open source, but as long as you credit and you're not using it for uh,
commercial.
commercial, yeah. So yep.
So it's not something that you have like sort of copy and pasted it over to your
Yeah. So
internal
it's more complex than that because it's you need to build a software from it. So
scratch.
it's not something that if you have no background in maybe software engineering, I don't think you'll be able to. Yep.
Mm,
So that's why we actually tried to get the automations team to
mhm.
help us code this software. So I think that goes back to the point that I mentioned earlier, that it's not something, if it's something very technical, it's not something that you should get each of your employee to explore. You actually should have collaborate within your IT departments, your software, whatever, and see what you can come out from it. So yeah.
So let me just twist this a bit, right? So these are, I mean, situations where where the MNC company would have resources, to explore. How about SME, small medium enterprises? What are your suggestions for those enterprises to explore AI? Is the only route by actually paying a third party to help build this, or only using premium subscriptions? Are there any other ways they could explore this?
In my opinion, if your SME, your company, does not have anyone who's expert on this kind of thing, I think it would be best to just go for those already how to say ready commercial
Mm,
products.
ready for purpose kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
commercial product.
So you find the product that suits your purpose, what you want it to do, and then I mean you might have to fork out a budget for it, but yeah, it will help you. I think it will help you a lot.
All right. Because I mean, obviously there are a lot of SME companies, constantly registering themselves and stuff like that. But if they've got an edge, right, in the AI journey, right, it would definitely help them a lot in what is this, duplicating processes, or expediting processes and stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, okay, yep. Kaz, back to you. Any questions for us?
Oh, how long we have been talking for our podcast?
I've,
I'm
Um,
not sure if Ryan
Probably an
have the
I'll
hour.
slip
answer
it
for
off.
the timing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
it's
slip that off. Don't worry.
That's our longest podcast ever
No, I can
to
snip
date.
off some parts, so don't worry. Like even all this, I'll
Mm.
I'll snip it off, so don't worry. Yep. So do you guys want to wrap it up?
yeah, sure.
Yep. All
Yeah,
right.
I can wrap it up, right? So I think back to the problem statement. So um I think initially we mentioned that, due to this AI boom, our managers, probably top down, pass the message to us that we need to implement AI, we need to like incorporate AI in our daily work, right? I think as a subordinate, we just need to analyze the message, right? What actually your manager want, what is basically the intent of the questions. Like, for example, let's say you're using Excel and your manager asks you to implement AI. Most likely, your manager just wants some automation run, efficiently, right? I think that's the message. So just make sure that uh, you come up with a better automation process. Sometimes I think efficient process is so very important in order to improve the efficiency, not just the tool. Sometimes process is also very important in organizations, right? Sometimes manager asks us, "Oh, guys, you need to use AI. We need to be innovative, right?" So I think we can interpret this statement as solving the right problem efficiently. So first of all, need to know what is the problem that we're facing, come up with a problem statement, and then solve it efficiently. I think that is basically the advice, for the audience out there. If you face such a manager who always like to use this word AI, 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 I think this are some of the advices that we can provide to you. Feel free to comment if you face any more challenging situations when dealing with such managers. We will be happy to look at your comments and maybe give you a better advice.
Remember, don't be the guy
Right.
that
So
present your Power BI as your AI and then get promoted.
Yep. Yep.
yeah, yeah. Feel free to comment as well if you're one of those who get promoted
Yep.
because you mislead your leadership that Power BI is actually AI.
Maybe what you should do, right? Don't leak out, the organization that you're working with, but try to leak out the template that you have used, so that some of us can actually replicate and probably advance in our careers as well. You know, yeah, I wouldn't mind exploring those as well. All right, so thanks, Kaz, for wrapping it up. Ryan, any thoughts?
Yeah, please share if you have any
Okay,
templates.
all right, you and me both. So
All right, I
thanks,
think I'll
guys.
end it nicely, right?
Yeah,
I think I'll end it nicely. Right. So, if you guys like our video, please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to our podcast channel, 2A and 1C. Right? You guys are always the best. I will see you in the next video. Ilwa, peace.
Bye
ciao,
bye.
bye.